faculty of the athletic.
But it's a great liaison, and the faculty athletic reps play a very important role in our conference.
Through my role here at HBC, and just with somebody who's
And here I know he's already kind of circled on his calendar the first match on.
And welcome to the return of the Cardinals Nest here on HBC TV 25. The Cardinals Nest is a sports show devoted exclusively to St. Mary's University and its athletic programs. I'm Dean Beckman, joined by co-host Donnie Netto. Donnie is the Sports Information Director at St. Mary's. And each week we'll have a guest here on the Cardinals Nest from one of the athletic teams. And this week our guest is Athletic Director Nikki Fenner. And so Nikki, thanks for being on the Cardinals Nest as we return to action here on HBC.
Great, it's glad to be here, and I'm glad to have the return of the Cardinals Nest.
Yep. And Donnie, it is great to be back, isn't it?
It's
been a little
is.
while, but we're back bigger and better than ever.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's really nice to promote Cardinal athletics and all the great things that we've got going on up at St. Mary's, and you know, that's a perfect segue to all the things we have going on in the next 2 weeks, because it's really a busy time for us.
It absolutely is. Every fall is, but adding to that busyness this time, and it's a perfect time to have Nikki on our program because we have a 1975 alumnus coming back to St. Mary's. He's very well known, John McDonough, President and CEO of the Chicago Blackhawks.
And he's bringing a friend with him.
He's bringing a friend. Again, it was back, it was here just a few years ago, Nikki, but the Stanley Cup is returning to St. Mary's.
Can't tell you how excited we are to have the Stanley Cup back at St. Mary's. September 6, 2013 is a day that lives forever. And now we get to talk about September 10th, 2015. And to have John come back and share the Stanley Cup with his alma mater and the Winona community, not once but twice, is absolutely phenomenal.
Right, so September 10th is the big date. And as you said, Nikki, it is shared with the entire Winona community. So maybe talk to us about the events of that day and the chances for the public to get a viewing of the Stanley Cup.
Sure. It's going to be a very busy day on Thursday the 10th, but like I said, we're very excited. And it's important to John and to St. Mary's University that we share the Stanley Cup and his time with the community of Winona. So there'll be an opportunity for the greater Winona community to see the Stanley Cup and be with us on campus from 2:15 till about 3:45. And we'll invite our public to line up in the front of the Toner Student Center at 1 o'clock on Thursday the 10th, at which time they can get in line to see the cup. We'll have a limited number of wristbands that we'll hand out to our community members. A wristband will just mean that you're guaranteed to get a picture with the cup. If a community member doesn't get a wristband, they still might get a picture. They're going to do their best, but they'll get an opportunity to see it, take a picture of it. They just may or may not get their picture taken with it. So we're excited.
It's really a neat thing that John does, bringing the cup back. And talk a little bit about the excitement that builds, because once the community, Winona community is done, there's going to be a rally, there's going to be a viewing for the St. Mary's community. It's just a day of celebration.
It really is a celebration, and so after the public gets to see the cup, we're going to do a 4 o'clock rally, and we invite the public to stay for that as well. But so we're going to have our St. Mary's community, our students, all gathered in the Gostomski Fieldhouse to do a rally and really celebrate John and his accomplishments, and to celebrate the accomplishments of St. Mary's and how they contribute as well. And so that's going to be a very, very fun atmosphere. And then after that, our students and our St. Mary's community will have their time with the cup to really get some photo opportunities and to otherwise celebrate with John.
And Nikki, not only has John brought the Stanley Cup, now this being the second time, but he's a really active alumnus with the university. He has given so much of his time and his talent to our current students that, you know, that kind of leadership from somebody who's out in the public, working in the business sector, really valuable.
Well, you hit the nail on the head in leadership, and John is a phenomenal leader, not only with the Chicago Blackhawks, but in the world of professional hockey and professional sports in general. And he certainly is a leader among our alumni at St. Mary's University. He will kick off a leadership series, speaker series that our students will be able to have, and he gets to be the inaugural speaker in that great event for St. Mary's. And I can't think of anybody better to be a part of that leadership series than John.
Well, and Donnie, not only does this Stanley Cup event is it huge for St. Mary's, but it coincides with the success of last year's men's hockey team as they reached the finals of nearly going to the national tournament, getting all the way to the MIAC championship contest. So I think that dovetails nicely on what happened with men's hockey.
Absolutely, no question about it. And I think the neat thing, going back to John and his his relationship with St. Mary's, I think one of the things that you can really see is he'll be bringing along with him two St. Mary's alums who work for the Blackhawks, in Eric Lear and Adam Gill, and both of those. Adam was a hockey player here at St. Mary's for 4 years. Had the opportunity to coach with him, and Eric Lear. Many people may know Eric as an anchor here at HBC and as well as at KTTC. And I know, talking to John, being able to share this success with a couple other St. Mary's alums was really important to him, and really a nice experience for him to be able to share. St. Mary's is a very special place to John, and I think anybody that you talk to that works at St. Mary's or was an alum of St. Mary's, there's something about St. Mary's that is very special, and that's obviously the case with John. He's bringing the cup back for a second time, which is really special. Yeah,
absolutely. It'll be a great chance too for current students to interact a little bit with Eric and Adam. And Nikki, going back again to the success of last year's men's hockey team, what a special time that was. Yes. For St. Mary's. Much of it captured right here on HBC, as a lot of those finals games were aired here on TV 25, and it was just an electric atmosphere, and that'll be relived a little bit now here in September. It was
a great atmosphere to be able to host the MIAC championship game in men's hockey, and we also hosted a playoff game for our women's hockey team as well. And then ironically, I think we'll talk in the next segment about inducting 3 new hockey players into our Sports Hall of Fame the next night. And so it's fun how the whole hockey community kind of comes together in this great celebration that we'll have on the 10th.
Right, and not only, the excitement over all of that, but also all of the fall sport seasons starting up now as well. Some excitement there, and the men's soccer team came away with a big win on Wednesday and on Tuesday, and so just a lot of excitement going on right now around campus, around the athletic events.
It's definitely a busy time, as we preluded to earlier, but it is. It's there's a huge buzz, and it isn't just about the Cup, and it isn't just about M Club Weekend, but just the fall sports in general. They all kicked off their seasons on Tuesday and had some great successes. The volleyball team was victorious at Eau Claire, and the men's soccer team got to beat up a little bit on Viterbo with a 5-0 win. And so there is a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement about what the future holds, and the success that the St. Mary's athletic programs are starting to build.
Yep. Also, some buzz around some of the new coaches that are coming to St. Mary's University, so we'll touch on that when we return on the Cardinals Nest on HBC.
HBC Sports has your volleyball fix this season as your exclusive home for St. Mary's volleyball throughout the fall. The 2015 Cardinals will look to build on an impressive 20-13 mark a year ago, and you'll get to watch it happen with 5 matches brought to you live on TV 25. For the full broadcast schedule, simply visit hbci.com/sports for details to find out when the Redbirds will take the court. That's St. Mary's volleyball all season long, only on HBC Sports.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill continues to go up year after year? Small increases in your bill go to pay for service upgrades. We've invested millions of dollars to provide the best services possible. However, the bulk of the fee increases are due to rising network fees. Just a handful of powerful media companies control the vast majority of programming you watch. And these companies dictate what we have to pay in order to offer their channels to you. These networks' demands often involve significant fee increases, which affect you every month on your bill. Since 1999, these fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. All satellite and cable TV providers do their best in negotiating with these networks to get the lowest network fees possible. But if we refuse to pay those increases, the networks will pull their signals, causing their channels to go dark on your channel lineup. This is something we do our best to avoid. So the next time you open your monthly bill, know that we're doing all we can to keep it as low as possible. Learn more at tvonmyside.com.
This is HBC Job Finder. Medtronic in Wabasha is now hiring manufacturing associates for the second and third shifts with pay up to $20 an hour. Duties range from assembly, labeling and packaging product to machine setup, maintenance, and troubleshooting. Positions vary. See job description for further detail. Must be able to lift up 70 pounds and be available to work overtime. To apply, contact Melissa Robertson or visit medtronic.com. To view this and other jobs, visit jobs.hbci.com.
And welcome back to the Cardinals Nest here on HBC TV 25. Dean Beckman, Donnie Netto, joined this week by Nikki Fenner, the athletic director for St. Mary's. And Nikki, just one, I guess, disappointing piece of news from this past summer was that Mandy Pearson, 9 years, very successful head coach for the St. Mary's University women's basketball team, did step down to take the job at the University of Minnesota Duluth. But she has certainly built a very winning, memorable program in women's basketball. Yes,
so very sad to see Mandy go. Obviously, she did great things in building a wonderful program at St. Mary's. But simultaneously, we're happy for her. We know that she moves on to another very, very good program, and she has a great opportunity to build there as well. We're excited for her in that opportunity, and we're excited to see good things coming from her at Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, I think, you know, the 8 years that she was at St. Mary's, not only from a record standpoint, of course, but one of the things I noticed you said in the comments that came out afterwards were the type of leadership that she built off of the court as well. Certainly those types of values were a big part of what she tried to instill, and very successful at doing so.
She absolutely did, and she instilled a lot more than basketball skills with our student athletes, and we're very appreciative of that, because athletics at St. Mary's isn't just about what you do on the field of competition, but the learning opportunities that happen off as well, and she was very, very instrumental in those areas. And the women's basketball program has really been a leader for the athletic department as we've been building an entire department.
And stepping in now to take over the head coaching position for women's basketball is Brent Pollerai. He'll be the head coach now, so tell us more about Brent.
Brent has just a wealth of experience, mostly at the Division II and Division I levels, and we're very excited to have him. He most recently comes to us from Minnesota State Mankato, also spent a lot of time at Northern State and Aberdeen, and just the great experiences that he has, the wonderful demeanor that he brings, and the vision that he has, not just about maintaining success, but continuing to build success in our women's basketball program, just really makes him a perfect fit for our institution in the athletic department. And I'm excited just to continue without skipping a beat in women's basketball.
And it looks like, having talked to Brent a little bit, it looks like that's probably the way it's going to happen, is there's going to be no missing of a beat.
Right.
I think he's excited to step into this head coaching role and kind of take the Cardinals to the next level. And you know, from my standpoint, I'm very excited for him to join our staff. I'm very sad to see Mandy leave, and you know, it's hard to believe it was 8 years. I mean, it feels like just yesterday, Nikki, that you were hiring her, and you know, she really did some phenomenal things for our women's basketball program. But I think that you know, we're excited for her to move on. But and again, we're really eager to see what Brent can do as well.
Yeah. Donnie, Nikki, I think, you know, when you're hiring for a head coach, let's talk about the process a little bit. Is it different when you're trying to rebuild from a program that is looking to get some winning seasons versus one like the women's basketball team that has been very successful? What goes into that process, and what type of qualities are you looking for, especially when you were looking to hire Brent?
I think that whether you're building a program, maintaining, or enhancing a program, there's a common denominator that works for us at St. Mary's, and that's fit. And we want to make sure that we hire coaches who fit with St. Mary's University, our overall mission, and where the athletic department is headed. And we've been very, very fortunate in all of those areas to be able to find coaches who are excited to be at St. Mary's, who fit very, very well with who we are, not only in athletics, but as the university as a whole.
And Brent isn't the only new face among the head coaching ranks at St. Mary's this year. Also, Amber Bartholomew will be taking over as the head swimming and diving coach from Eric Lundquist, who moved on. And so tell us more about Amber.
Amber comes to us after having a great swimming and coaching career at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. She brings just phenomenal credentials with her. I think up until last year she held the conference record in the 200 IM, and so we know that she has that ability, that knowledge to really take our swimming and diving program to the next level. She is hungry to build a very, very good program at St. Mary's, and we're really excited to help her do that in the swimming and diving programs.
And it was one of those things too, as we talked about with Mandy. It was sad to see Coach Lindquist leave. He had been here for a number of years, but we were also excited for him to get an opportunity to try something different in his endeavors in terms of his work career. And I think we're excited to see what Amber can do, and I know she's excited to be at St. Mary's. And you never like to lose coaches, but sometimes a breath of fresh air is always a good thing, and it's sad to see Eric leave, but it's exciting to have Amber on board.
Well, and I think too, over the years, and we've had Eric on this show a number of times, he has brought in a number of phenomenal athletes in both swimming and diving. And so I think a good chance for Amber to just kind of continue that. Did she have a chance to talk to some of the athletes and express what her goals for them were?
Absolutely. Anytime a new coach comes in, both with Coach Pallarai and Coach Bartholomew and Coach Moore, who we'll talk about next, having opportunities to talk with those returning and incoming student athletes to talk about where are our goals, what are our visions, and what is our common vision for moving this program forward. Whether we're at the top of the conference or someplace else, we still want to be moving forward, and that's the goal for all of our programs.
And you mentioned Coach Moore, and it's a familiar name for St. Mary's. It's Greg Moore, who has been an assistant for the women's hockey team, and he will now take over men's and women's golf.
Yes, and so Greg, that was a great transition for us to move Greg into the golf programs. He's very, very knowledgeable. He's a good teacher, and he's going to do very, very well recruiting in those programs. And I know our men's golf team didn't come out on the right side of a dual match the other day, but they did shoot their best score in the last couple of years. And so we know what can happen as we move this forward, and so we're very excited to see what happens with golf under Coach Moore. I know Greg is excited, and I think the thing that we keep forgetting to remind people is he's still the assistant women's hockey coach. He hasn't given up that duty. The golf is added to that, but I think in both of those, his role as an assistant women's hockey team, and then also with the golf programs, is, as Nikki alluded to, he's a great recruiter, and he has a great rapport with his student athletes, and I think he's going to do great things for the golf program. I know, like Nikki said, they had a really solid beginning to their season in their duel against McAllister. Some really solid scores that hopefully are signs of good things to come, and we're excited for what Greg can do for the golf programs as well. Yeah, great to have that versatility on staff, to be sure. When we return here on HBC TV 25 on the Cardinals Nest, we'll tell you a little bit more about the Sugar Loaf Classic in volleyball and a lot of the other fall sports that are now starting at St. Mary's. That and more when we return here on HBC.
Football night on HBC is back.
When it comes to high school football, no one has you covered like HBC.
Join HBC TV 25 Sports this fall as we travel to local high school football stadiums to bring you our game of the week.
Football night on HBC.
To see the full schedule of games, log on to hbci.com/sports.
Right here on HBC TV 25 Sports.
Football night on HBC is brought to you by Lewiston Auto.
HBC, your home for high school football.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill continues to go up year after year? Small increases in your bill go to pay for service upgrades. We've invested millions of dollars to provide the best services possible. However, the bulk of the fee increases are due to rising network fees. Just a handful of powerful media companies control the vast majority of programming you watch. And these companies dictate what we have to pay in order to offer their channels to you. These networks' demands often involve significant fee increases, which affect you every month on your bill. Since 1999, these fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. All satellite and cable TV providers do their best in negotiating with these networks to get the lowest network fees possible. But if we refuse to pay those increases, the networks will pull their signals, causing their channels to go dark on your channel lineup. This is something we do our best to avoid. So So the next time you open your monthly bill, know that we're doing all we can to keep it as low as possible. Learn more at tvonmyside.com.
HBC Sports has your volleyball fixed this season as your exclusive home for St. Mary's volleyball throughout the fall. The 2015 Cardinals will look to build on an impressive 20-13 mark a year ago, and you'll get to watch it happen with 5 matches brought to you live on TV 25. For the full broadcast schedule, simply visit hbci.com/sports for details to find out when the Redbirds will take the court. That's St. Mary's volleyball all season long, only on HBC Sports.
And we return here for the final segment of the Cardinals Nest here on HBC TV 25. Nikki Fenner, the athletic director for St. Mary's, is our guest this week, along with Donnie Netto, the sports information director. I'm Dean Beckman, and Donnie, we've been talking all day about all kinds of things happening at St. Mary's, and I have a new role as well.
Right. Yeah. That's right. You know, you've been named into our faculty athletic representative now, which is a very important position, Nikki, and you might want to really quickly expand on what Dean's roles are and the importance of what he brings to our athletic department now.
Well, every institution in the NCAA has a faculty athletic representative who really liaisons between academics and athletics. Not that we necessarily need that role at St. Mary's, but it's a great liaison. And the faculty athletic reps play a very important role in our conference structure. Athletic directors will pass legislation, and then faculty athletic reps have to approve that before we can send that off to the presidents. So they play a very important role, and I'm very excited, Dean, to work with you in that capacity. We've got a year under our belts already, and we're excited about moving the department along in several ways, especially with your help. So thank you.
From my standpoint, it's been great because as a faculty member at St. Mary's, I get to deal with the students in that capacity in the classroom through my role here at HBC, and just somebody who loves sports in general. I have gotten to know the students a little bit, you know, on the court and field and so on. But now to be able to kind of officially merge and tie those two together has been a real joy for me. And it also allows me to talk to other people at other institutions who are in that capacity that I probably wouldn't have had a chance to do so otherwise. So it's been great.
Great. It's good to have you.
Yeah. So now we'll talk about the Sugar Loaf Classic, which is the home volleyball tournament, and that gets underway this weekend at St. Mary's University. And Donnie, as always, that Sugar Loaf Classic, it's an important sort of beginning to the season, even though the volleyball team got started Tuesday night, came away with a 3-1 win on Tuesday night. This home meet is sort of kind of a big deal for Mike Lester and his squad.
Absolutely, it's a big tournament. It's our annual home tournament, and I know Mike's always excited about it. He gets some great teams that are coming in here. I know he's already kind of circled on his calendar their first match on Saturdays against UW-Stevens Point, one of the top teams in the country, so he's excited about that. Not looking past anybody on Friday night, but the field is always a very talented field, and a lot of good regional opponents for Mike. And the thing with volleyball that you have to remember is you know, they play so much of their schedule is non-conference and in-region games, and if you want to advance to the NCAA tournament, you can certainly get the automatic bid by winning the conference tournament, but you can also get it by having a good solid record in your regional play. And so it's important that these tournaments that they play in, that they play good solid regional teams, and in the Sugar Loaf Classic, that's what they've got set up for them. So it'll be a good start, really a good start week for them, including the Eau Claire match on Tuesday.
And we'll have Mike Lester on this program in a few weeks, but Nikki, expectations always high for the volleyball team. Coach Lester has really set the bar high with winning seasons year in and year out, and this year should be no different. They have a lot of talent returning.
We have a lot of talent, and we've got a couple of key players coming back from injuries that ended their season last year, and get to have them back as well. So we're a senior-laden team, and anytime you can have that senior leadership, you can expect great things, and you can put a lot of trust in them. And so we're very excited about what's going to happen with our volleyball program this year. And also, we love the Sugar Loaf Classic. It's a great way to kick off the season. A lot of excitement and a lot of people showing up in the Gostomski Fieldhouse to support the volleyball team.
All right. Also coming up in the month of September is M Club Weekend, which is the big weekend where a lot of the alumni come back, and also as a big banquet for the current athletes at St. Mary's, and that's September 11th through the 13th, so it's a 3-day event. So tell us about some of the planned activities for M Club Weekend.
Yeah, we kick off M Club Weekend on Friday night with an awards ceremony where we recognize all of our student athletes who have won awards in the previous academic year, and it's a great way to kind of put to rest the last academic year and celebrate our successes. And as we've indicated, there's a lot to celebrate about 14-15, but more importantly, it launches us into the next year. And we always want to be looking forward and looking on to the bigger and better things that we're moving towards, so we're excited about that. And then we'll induct 3 new members into our Sports Hall of Fame. So very happy. And
that's really exciting, especially this year. We'll be inducting a men's hockey player in Corby Manis. And then we also are inducting our first 2 women's hockey players into our Hall of Fame, which is, they'll be the inaugural class of women's hockey players in Missy Memkin and Missy Westergen-Kuntz. So it's a special weekend. As you had mentioned, you've got the Stanley Cup and John McDonough here on Thursday. We roll that right into Friday with the induction of 3 hockey players into the Sports Hall of Fame. And then Saturday we have our annual golf outing. And Sunday we have some alumni games. So it's a busy weekend of action. And if you want to back it up even farther, that Wednesday we've got 2 soccer games. So you go 2 soccer games on Wednesday, you've got John in the Cup on Thursday, and M Club Weekend. So it's a crazy week next week, but again, very exciting.
I was going to ask about the alumni games. Those are always a lot of fun. And Nikki, you're the former softball coach at St. Mary's, so you probably get to see some of your former athletes come back.
It's always fun to have alumni come back and opportunities to compete in some sports against our current student athletes, and in some sports against each other. And for me, it's always special to see those softball alums that I coached way back when, but it's also fun to see all of our alums come back to St. Mary's.
Yeah. And we had talked earlier about my role as faculty athletic representative to kind of tie the academic side with the athletic side at the Division III level. And the MIAC each year, they give out scholarships known as the Mike Agustin Scholarship. And Donnie, you know a lot about this. This is named after a former sports writer, and it's awarded to those students with high GPAs and career aspirations in the area of communications. And this year, St. Mary's had 2 Mike Agustin Scholarship Award recipients.
Yeah, what a great honor for Katie Letourneau and Kale Paczynski to receive those scholarships. Mike Agustin was a sports writer for the Pioneer Press and a very big supporter of the MIAC. I know the sports information directors also have an award called the Mike Agustin Award that they present to a person in terms of promoting not only the school but the conference. So Mike is very well respected and missed greatly. Now that he has passed, and for Kale and for Katie to receive those scholarships is a great honor for them, and really speaks highly of St. Mary's and the type of student athletes that we have here.
Yep, absolutely. Nikki, just a very short time left. This type of award, especially for all of our students, but specifically for student athletes, it happens more often than we think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our student athletes are doing so well academically and athletically, so the number of awards that we're going to hand out on Friday at our M Club ceremony is going to be a lot, and we'll have to hunker down for a while to get those all handed out, but that's a great problem to have, and we're very excited about the academic, athletic, and community service awards that our student athletes are really achieving.
All right, Nikki Fenner, Donnie Netto, I'm Dean Beckman. Thanks for joining us as the Cardinals Nest returns here on HBC.